Okay guys, as you saw with my last video, hopefully you saw it, maybe you didn't, maybe you did, whatever, that news is now going to be put on this channel and media is going to be on the other channel, basically because I want to become a YouTube partner and help make EHWF bigger, donate money. This is what I want to do. I want to make money through YouTube and help donate it and help make, buy an EHWF site and help buying promotional ads and make EHWF huge. That's my goal. So, right now, I've got some news to talk about that I found out that's really interesting. It's a few wrestlers here. We're going to start off first with Shamrock. A lot of people didn't even know this, believe it or not, but Ken Shamrock was in TNA when TNA was first getting going, and he was the first champion. Right now, there's a storyline going around in TNA that basically Jeff Jarrett, this whole J-A-R-R-E-T-T, double M-A, whatever the hell he's calling it, is having to do with Ken Shamrock. That supposedly the idea was, I don't know if it still is, but was to have Ken Shamrock come back at Genesis and during a match between Jarrett and Angle, have Shamrock come in, interfere, beat up Angle, and that would be it. You know, that would be the end of Genesis. And, you know, coming in against all odds, we'd have Angle versus Shamrock. I mean, I wanted to see that match 10 years ago, but I don't know if Shamrock could still go now, especially with Kurt Angle, but it would be very interesting. You know, ankle lock versus ankle lock. That was the whole storyline going on. As far as I know, Ken Shamrock has not been signed by TNA. Somebody had told me that he has not even been contacted by TNA yet. So, I don't know what's going on. It's another one of these things where TNA is starting a storyline before they even have everything in place. They did it with Nathan Jones and Matt Morgan back in 2008. They started the storyline with the Nation of Violence with Samoa Joe and ECMO before he re-signed with TNA. And they're doing it now with Jeff Jarrett and Ken Shamrock without Shamrock actually being in TNA. So, if they don't come up with an idea quick, if Shamrock doesn't sign, it's going to look really stupid. Moving on next, Jeff Hardy. As we know, Jeff Hardy pled guilty. It's being suggested that he goes to jail and spends 6 months behind bars. We've just seen an Against All Odds poster up that has him on it, that he designed, and he's still the champion. So, you know, it's a look at, okay, what's happening? Is he going to go to jail? When is this going to happen? Is the Against All Odds poster going to change? Who knows? What's really funny going back to Shamrock is that if Shamrock was going to go against Angle at Against All Odds, would you not see Shamrock on the poster? You know, you see something like that. So obviously Shamrock hasn't been signed. You think they would keep the Against All Odds poster quiet until the Impact after Genesis if Shamrock's supposed to come in and attack. But Jeff Hardy's on the poster, so it's very mind-boggling. And I don't know what's going to happen with Jeff Hardy. People say if he goes to jail, maybe he'll smarten up. No offense, but I don't think Jeff Hardy is ever going to smarten up. He's just that guy. He's in that way, and he's never going to stop being who he is. Moving on, we're going to move on to Christian right now. Christian Cage is what I should call him. A lot of people, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he's out right now for a few months. He was injured and yada, yada, yada. As people know from me that I've been posting it for a couple of years now, that Christian Cage's contract with WWE expires in late 2012. People have told me he will not return to TNA. I believe he will. I have more sources saying that people that know him and have worked with him have saying that he will go back to TNA. What I believe will actually happen is, what I've heard and what I believe will happen is it'll depend on whether he gets the WWE or the World Heavyweight Championship by that time. If he isn't at least a one-time champion by that time, when his contract expires, I believe he will step out of WWE. However, if he wins the title, I think he'll sign an extension to his contract. Now, knowing WWE as I do, when somebody threatens to leave and they want a title or something like that or a pay raise, WWE usually folds and gives it to them. Happened with Shelton Benjamin years ago when he was going to walk out after his contract expired until they were, you know, give him the U.S. title and gave him money. So it's, I think you will see Christian Cage becoming the WWE or World Heavyweight Champion at least once to make him happy, so he'll stay. As we all know, Vince McMahon has never been big on Christian Cage, doesn't think he's really anything all that amazing, but signed him anyways, so TNA wouldn't have him. TNA made him a main eventer. He was nothing more than a mid-carder in WWE. TNA created him as a main eventer, and WWE re-signed him because of that for basically publicity. People are not aware. They think they know why he left TNA, but a lot of people do not know why. He left there was some politics going on with Jeff Jarrett. I mean, he pretty much owned everything backstage in TNA, but that wouldn't be why he would leave. That couldn't be the only reason, because, hell, there's more politics with Triple Hollywood in WWE than there is with Double J in TNA. Really, from what I know, Cage had seen that the economy was going down, and he doesn't make millions. He never made millions. He never had like a $10 million contract in WWE. He didn't have like a huge contract in TNA either, and he knew he needed the money. So mainly it was all financial reasons why he left TNA to go back to WWE. A lot of people have also been telling me recently that Christian Cage is contemplating retirement after his contract ends in 2012. I really don't know what to say to that, whether he will or will not. I don't see him retiring yet, and I don't think he'd want to retire as a mid-carder. I think if he was going to retire, in all honesty, he would retire in TNA, because he's been a main eventer since he stepped in there, and WWE would only put him as a main eventer for a couple months, really, just to keep him around. I don't think he will retire in WWE. I think he will retire in TNA as a main eventer, not some mid-carder who got pushed every so often because they wanted to keep him around. So, I mean, that's the news there that I got so far. Not a lot. It is interesting. Shamrock is not with TNA yet. Jeff Hardy, God knows what will happen to him. Is he going to jail? Is he going to be around? Some people say he won't even be at Genesis. So if he's not at Genesis, who's going to be the new champion? If the title's going to be vacant, I don't know how they're going to come up with that. And look at Christian Cage. Is he leaving WWE after 2012? Is he re-signing? Or is he retiring? It's really interesting to see what's happening in the wrestling world, and it'll be interesting to see what you guys think. So join me here on EHWF. This is news. This is how we're putting it. Join me now, EHWF01. This is how it's going to be, multimedia on my other channel. And that's all I got to say about that.